whenever this ends, it'll be because it's emotional as opposed to physical, that you'll still be able to play the game at a high level?
I think so. The difference is there's a huge level of commitment for your body physically at an older age because it requires so much more care. Now, it requires care when you're younger too, but at the same time, there's no margin of error when you're 45. You take hits and you feel every hit, and when you're younger, your body's a lot different. And when you're 45, your body changes a lot. So what am I dealing with now? I woke up today going, holy shit, there was a few hits and you look at your arm and you got bruises, you got cuts, and you got, the way it is. And you go, okay, how much longer do I want to make this commitment? And I obviously made the commitment for this year, and everything's going to be, like always, continue to evaluate, all these different aspects of play.
Tom Brady on the Let's Go podcast earlier this week with Jim Gray. I was surprised by his willingness to talk openly about feeling the hits, because it's not like he got blown up. He just got hit like we see quarterbacks get hit all the time.
Right.
But when you're 45 and you literally are too old for this stuff, it is going to be harder to get out of bed. You are going to feel it. I don't care what kind of pliability exercises you do and what diet you follow. Father Time is eventually going to whoop your ass. And a person I respect very much said 5 years ago, and we've talked about this, but it bears repeating, the arm will be with him. The question is the legs. And when he can no longer get away from the hits and starts taking them, that's when it begins to fall apart. And we assume he'll just be able to hold it together until the end of the season.
Yeah, right.
We assume that. But, one of those hits, I mean, if he gets sidelined and it's just, he's 45.
Yeah, that's right. Look at his legs.
We are operating under unprecedented circumstances, and so is he. There's no manual he can read. There's no one he can talk to about taking hits at the age of 45. We've never seen it before.
No, it's amazing. I mean, it is. And he's a tough SOB. There's no question about that. He's a master in the pocket and always has been, and still pretty good there. But it's not the same, and I know it was just one game, but I'm going to be interested to evaluate this as we go. First off, there's a lot of people in the football world. We know he lost weight during this whole personal issue thing during August, right? And we've both heard from very credible people. It was around 15, 18 pounds for a guy he's not real thick to begin with, right? And then, you know me, I'm always looking at guys' legs and butts in their uniforms. The back of his pants are real saggy right now. They're real saggy. There's a lot of room to fill out in the butt region, okay? There's a lot. And that is something I look at. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a lot of people that I, talk to and text to. They're like, man, Brady looks a little frailer. Brady's legs don't look the same. Now, his arm, as you've discussed here, it's still like we're seeing right here, is special. That's going to be the torment of him when he does retire. Because you've always said this. He's going to look at it and go, wait, I could still make these throws. Well, this guy can't do it, and I could. But, there's a lot of all-time great quarterbacks that had to deal with that. I mean, John Elway, let's think about him. His last game he ever played, he was throwing 80-yard bombs and won the Super Bowl MVP. But the problem was what Brady explained. My body to get ready for the game, I just can't take it anymore. That's where it came down to. Brett Favre, I think the same thing. We never went like, oh, no, his arm's falling off here. It's not the same. It's just he can't take the punishment and the hits anymore and getting ready for the game and all that. And they're rare that way, that their arms are that special. But, of course, they're still human, and that's a big struggle to deal with. There's no doubt, and I think Brady's getting to that point. Brady sounds like a guy that is basically wanting to go, I made this commitment for this year, and that's it for this year, and I'm done after that. But he's just not going to say that because he doesn't want to make it, the biggest story in the sport.
And maybe that's what you need. Maybe it doesn't have to be Willie Mays struggling to play in the outfield and people feeling sorry for him because he's not the guy he used to be. That obvious fall off the cliff that we all witnessed.
Yeah.
It's just holding it together and being able to walk away with your head held high that you maintained your own personal standard, and that's good enough. And I'm not going to have that moment where I win a championship and walk off into the sunset. Because you know what? I don't think he's capable of walking off into the sunset after he wins a championship. Because I think winning a championship reignites his fire to go try to get another one. I think he needs to acknowledge that that's the way he is. Because he's had moments. He's had 3 of them in the last 5 years where it would have been perfect to walk away.
Yeah.
The comeback win over the Falcons in the year where he missed the first 4 games due to the Deflategate suspension. I remember saying at the time, he should take that trophy and stick it in the commissioner's stomach like Paul Crewe to the warden and say, put this in your trophy case and walk away.
Yeah.
And it would have been beautiful. And that was when his wife, and we're going to talk about some of her recent comments in a minute, that's when she started agitating him. What more do you have to prove? And then he wins number 6 over the Rams. What more do you have to prove? And then she openly, and he acknowledged it, when he goes to Tampa in his first year there, wins a Super Bowl, she goes down on the field, and she immediately begins, what more do you have to prove?
Right.
What more do you have to prove?
Yeah.
And look, these are real human issues. We all have, all those of us who are married, who have a partner that we spend years with and build a life together. They have a say in the life that we have together. And there's a point where it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're 45. You keep doing this. There's a point where you're just being selfish as it relates to the needs and the preferences of the family. Because what more are you gaining from this at this point? And what are you taking from us?
Yeah.
And those are fair considerations. And I think we are at that point. And yes, it's private business, but these are 2 very public human beings, and maybe we can glean some lessons from this and how to maintain balance in our own lives. But I think his family is out of whack because he continues to chase whatever it is he feels compelled to continuously chase.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. Everything you said. I think this is going to continue to be a thing, though, in the NFL with some of these quarterbacks. I don't know if it gets to 45, but because of the rules the way they are, back to John Elway and some of those quarterbacks, the game was so much more brutal for the quarterbacks back in that era. Again, John,
I don't know how your dad walks. I don't know how your dad walks.
I don't know
on 2
either.
legs.
I really don't. I'm dead serious about that. If you go back and watch, some of those games of Joe Montana, Phil Simms, Troy Aikman playing those, Washington, the Bears defense, the 49ers, whatever, on actual AstroTurf. No rules about getting hit in the head. No rules about dead weight on the body or landing on the quarterback. I mean, Elway is a physical specimen. If he played in today's rules, he'd have played into his 40s too. There's no question. I mean, I don't think my dad would be any different. Not to say he's in the class of Elway or Tom Brady, but yeah, I think that's where it's a little going to be misleading for some of these guys, and they're going to struggle with that. Where back then, Elway was literally like, oh my gosh, I got hit by 74 trains yesterday, and I really can't walk on a Monday. And that's where, these quarterbacks are going to continue to be like, well, I was sore, but I wasn't that bad. I think I can do it one more time. And that's going to be a struggle, especially if you can still throw the football like Brady can.
For those of you out there, and there are surprisingly many at this point, who don't know the joy of playing on AstroTurf, here's my own personal experience. Because we used to play a lot of sandlot football when I was a kid, and then you get to a point where you realize you're all too old to play tackle because things break and tear, and it's not good for the life that you're trying to, live otherwise. But the AstroTurf field was always the magical oasis when I was growing up. Because you're out on grass and mud, and it's AstroTurf.
Yeah, right.
And I remember somewhere, somehow, some way, we had access to a real AstroTurf field. And it's like this magical kingdom that we're going to go play. You can't get out of bed, then nothing in your body works the next day because there's absolutely no cushion. There's no give. It's like playing on cement that just has a green carpet rolled over top of it. And so every move you make, it is jarring. It is abuse on your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your elbows. I remember literally not being able to move the next day, and I didn't get hurt. And everybody else who did it was the same way. And your dad lived on that stuff at home and in most of the stadiums he played at on the road.
No doubt. I mean, it was in the NFC East at that time too. His favorite place to play was in Washington. Why? Because it was the only place with grass, so he loved it. Damn, it doesn't hurt when Dexter Manley and Charles Mann just bash my head into the ground. Not like the same at the old vet when Reggie White and Clyde Simmons were bashing his head into the ground. So, yeah, it's a different game now, certainly. And, I think we're going to see, as they're saying, okay, listen, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how long he'll play. He seems a little different. But, again, it's a guy we're getting close to 40 here. Or is he 40 or 39 or whatever? 38. But still playing at a really high level. And I think a lot of these guys are going to be tormented by this situation when they get up to that age.
And when they get there, there will at least have been others who blazed the trail and ultimately found a way off of it. Now, for Brady, he, as you said, he's still going to be able to play. And what's he going to do? He's going to slide into the broadcast booth. And we mentioned Chris Collinsworth suggested the other night that Brady may take a year off before he starts with Fox. That's going to be part of his torment. He can't get away from it. Maybe he does need a detox year where he just has no football whatsoever. Because he will watch these guys play, and he will be thinking, "What am I doing?
Yeah,
I can't do this. It's like you want me to not play, but I've got to sit in a stadium every week and watch somebody else play who I know isn't as good as me." He may be rethinking this whole, and this may be where the 1 year is coming from.
Yeah, I get it.
Take a year off and
get
reset.
your family back together. Get that. It seems like there's some things there.
And so you're not tempted. He's going to be tempted. Same way he was tempted back in March to play again. He starts seeing. I mean, look. Let's project forward. Let's say this is his last year, and we'll get to his wife's comments in a minute. This is his last year. He retires. He goes to work for Fox next year. Let's just play that out. Any quarterback that tears an ACL, suffers a broken bone in his thumb that requires a plate and a screw, and he's going to be out for who knows how long. The first time that happens, what are they going to say?
Yeah, especially if it's a good team that we go as a Super Bowl caliber team, right?
Here comes Tommy.
Yeah.
Here he comes, and he's going to have to deal with that constantly. And if there's an opportunity around Thanksgiving to slip onto a roster and go help that team and get that one more, I want that one more. I need that one more, even though it's just going to make me want another one more after that. Maybe it does make sense for him to take 2 or 3 years and just get away. And then when he comes back, maybe he won't be tempted. But that's the problem with taking this job. And yeah, $37.5 million goes a long way toward compensating you for dealing with that stress. But Chris, he's going to have his brain, his eyes, his ears, his body right there watching, and there's going to be a magnet that's pulling him down to the field.
Yeah, there is. I know. I'm interested to see. But yeah, let's go. Let's get into Giselle and what she said. Let's hear what she's got to say.
So a hard-hitting interview with Elle Magazine that posted recently. There's a lot of stuff there, obviously, because it's not a sports magazine, but ultimately there is content regarding the relationship between Giselle and Tom Brady. She said, among other things, I have my concerns. This is a very violent sport. I have my children, and I would like him to be more present. I have definitely had those conversations with him over and over again.
That jumped out to me right there. Over and over again. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Dating back to Super Bowl 51. What more do you have to prove? When they beat the Falcons down 28-3, there was no better ending, no better moment for him to walk off into the sunset. Ultimately, she said, I feel that everybody has to make a decision that works for them. He needs to follow his joy, too. I mean, hey, and this is the balance. We are in a family. We're in an ecosystem. Chris, you and I are in that. People who listen to the show, a lot of them are in. It's a balance. There's what you want. There's what the family needs. There's what the family wants. It's little things and it's big things. It's where we're going to go on vacation this year. I don't want to go there. I want to go somewhere else. It's the little compromises you make. What are you going to have for dinner? I don't want that. I want something else, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll eat that. It's little things and it's big things and it's everything in between. And it's a big thing when you're talking about dad's job causes him to be completely focused on his work for 7 months and nothing else for 7 months, or 6 months, the case may be, minus 11 days. But that's the commitment that he makes to have his body ready, all the time he spends away from home, the travel, the distraction. He's not present.
Yeah.
Not like other dads are.
No.
And
no.
there's a point where she's fully justified in putting her foot down. Whoever interviewed her suggested that she's getting some sort of sexist reaction by people. I don't know that anybody is blaming her for anything. I'm sympathizing. I understand what's going on. These are real life issues. This is part of the broader balance that every family has to try to achieve.
Yeah, I think there's been some, maybe men on social media have been like, just let him play and let the man do what he wants, right?
Well,
so I think that's
but they're talking about the media being sexist, and I don't pay attention to a whole lot of things that other people say.
Either.
But I haven't seen anyone trending because they made some over-the-top sexist remark about Giselle wanting her husband to stop taking violent hits when he's 45 years old.
Yeah.
She said 5 years ago to Charlie Rose, he's had concussions. He has concussions. I want him to be around when he's 100. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're 5 years later and he's still going.
No, I know. It's hard. And it is like, again, you don't travel a lot as an NFL football player, so that is a good thing. But being present when you're actually present is a thing. I can speak to that for sure. My dad in a big week, a big game, they lost after a game. Yeah, we were sitting in the same, family room watching TV on a Sunday night, but he wasn't present. He was like thinking about, oh crap. We lost, and what could I have done different? And what's Bill Parcells going to say to me? And how many 4-letter words am I going to get tomorrow thrown in my way? So it wasn't. And then, then let's start the grind over again. So there's that. And then you do miss, football games and your kids' activities and all of that. And again, that's the sacrifice that's made. And listen, my dad was the man, and he's awesome. And he's the greatest dad a kid could wish for, and being able to go to a game on Sunday, that took up for, okay, yeah, Dad didn't hear some of the things I said on Thursday night because he was in his own world thinking about plays and, oh, no, Reggie White's coming for me once again. Okay, so what? It was great. But, yeah, this is a guy that's accomplished everything. He's been doing it for 22 years. Kids are getting up there. Wife is starting to get, hey, come on, let's move on with life here. And I understand her approach to that as well. So it's a tough balance. It really is. And he's the most driven, stubborn quarterback we've ever seen. And that's what's made him so great.
And Chris, I know for us, like, as the season approaches, when the season gets started, I'm not always paying attention.
Me too.
To conversations in the house.
Right. My son was making fun of me last night. Yeah.
I'm not engaged with what's actually happening. You know, I don't want the dog coming into my office when I'm busy, and
right.
You start to feel bad, but it's a daily challenge, and it's complicated by the fact that he is in a spot that no one's ever been in before.
Yeah.
45 years old, still playing pro football at a high level and doing everything he can to hold his body together long enough to keep going, and his wife justifiably wanting him to just walk away. Remember, we had the text messages back and forth. I think Matt Casey was the one who spotted this when they were getting the crap kicked out of them by the Rams in the divisional round.
Right.
And they cut to Giselle.
To Giselle. She couldn't even watch, right? She wasn't even watching.
Well, but there was a sense that this is finally over.
Yeah, right.
And it's not that she said it, but just the body language, the demeanor, that not oh, come on, let's come back and win, or dismay that they're losing, just relief. This is finally over. And I at some point it has to be over. At some point he does have to acknowledge he is too old to continue to play. Let someone else take over. Let the younger guys do it, because it is a physical, violent game, and it's in his own best interest at some point to just walk away.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's hey, it's tough. And again, yeah, they do. They want, I think the bottom line is Gisele wants her husband, she wants the father, and she doesn't want to be 15 years down the road and, Tom looking at it going, "What's your name? Who are you?" "I'm your wife, Gisele." "Oh, that's sorry. I've been hit in the head too many times." I understand that concern. It's a real concern. There's no doubt about it. So I really think when all is said and done here, and especially with all the current events and August and all that, this is it for Brady. I think you know that. I know that. He's always claimed 45 was the number, and I think that's part of the stubbornness of why he came back, because that's who he is. I said this. I'm going to do it. I said I was going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to do it. That's what makes him great. And, that's just part of the struggle of probably living with him as the significant other as well.
But the real question is, will he be able to walk away if he doesn't walk away with the Super Bowl win? And will he be able to walk away if he does get that last Super Bowl win? I think it's easier for him to walk away without the most recent Super Bowl championship, because as he always says, when you ask him what's your favorite ring, it's the next one. At some point, he's got to forget about the next one and take a look back at the ones he's earned and pick one of those.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.